Last we left our heroes, you ran from one climactic encounter with the general and directly into another with his destructive machine. In the courtyard of the Crimson Coin compound, you saw the master mage Mordenkainen, alongside the remaining members of the Smiths, taking on the rallying few mercenaries who still remained here. By bending magic and physics, the mage held the massive arcurite-plated machine in a well of anti-gravity, and as you all prepared, attempting to evaluate the situation and look for an opening, the machine fired down beams of concussive, withering force towards Mordenkainen, knocking him from sight and dropping the spell. The machine fell, stood from its crater, and with renewed purpose, began its warpath anew. At this point, you dove into the fray, saving Mordenkainen from the machine's wrath, and in doing so allowed his magic to save Boone from near death, turning him into a devastating beast to rival the machine. Blow after blow, you felt the resilience of this machine, seemingly resistant to your attacks, spells bouncing off its armor plating. However, from high in the sky, Alana spied an entry point on its back. From 20 feet up, she launched off the back of Mira and began trying to pry open this hatch. At the same time, Hondo had been waiting. The machine and its draconic pilot continued its path of direction, working through your group, but not fast enough as you all began climbing up it and working on ripping into this hatch. At the same time, Hondo had been waiting for the prime moment to use his explosives, seeking to throw them inside the cannon of withering energy that opened aperture-like just before use. In the fray, the hatch popped, and from inside, the swirling ghost dragon prepared for your demise. At the same time, began to unleash its negative energy cannon towards Mordenkainen, and Hondo timed the tossing of his dynamite inside it perfectly. From inside this contained unit, the explosives erupted around the gem shard, seemed to power this machine. And you all watched as the gem's exterior cracked and splintered, and suddenly its energy began to grow exponentially. The dragon flew out of the machine, apparently aware of the coming destruction, and combat ended, but you were far from safety. Gathering yourselves, assessing the threat as very deadly, the eruption from this element could level several city blocks, devastating this ward, and anyone in range would easily be turned to ash. Time ticking down, ideas were thrown and bandied about, but many relied on getting this shard as far away from here as possible, something you've been unable to do in this city thus far. In these last moments, Mary called out to the Lady of Pain, demanding her aid in exchange for service in killing the general, but found her still resistant, to which Mary detected a hint of fear, a weakness to this threat. Finally, she pushed back, pleading to open the doors to extraplanar travel for you all, just for a short time, and did indeed find success. Within seconds to spare, Hondo held the shard and attempted to close his robe of stars to go to the astral sea, to leave the shard to erupt in its expansive ether. As he did, however, a voice, hundreds overlapping, pushed through into his mind, and he froze in this device's desire for destruction. At this attempt, faltering, Boone Vidette snatched the shard, turned to Mordenkainen, and demanded he send him to the astral sea. With a look of resignation, the wizard complied, and with a faint, wispy pop, that was the last time you ever saw the paladin. The beating in your ears, the withering tension begins to ebb away as a silence falls across your group. Smoke and ash still swirl around the party, but otherwise, all is quiet in the compound. You're surrounded by death and destruction, and you watched a valiant sacrifice and now stand stunned in its wake as you begin to vent. What do?
Take like a beat and then snap out of it and just fucking 360, checking everything, making sure that we're not missing anything, that something else isn't jumping out to surprise us. Like, just jumps up and does a perimeter.
You turn, and at the ready, you can see maybe there are small pockets of shifting in the rubble, in the ash of survivors. You can't tell whether they're Smiths or Crimson Coin, friend or foe. Nothing here poses a threat, though. These, if anything were to pull itself from the ash and the rubble, would only be simply trying to escape death, not trying to continue yours. For the time being, everything seems safe is probably the wrong word, but your imminent danger is over.
Everyone's okay. How fucked up are we?
Is there no way Boone can come back?
Well, I can reach out to him, but unless he is more than I understood, or luckier than the gods themselves, he had no way to survive that. But I'll try. You just watch Mordenkainen kind of step away for a moment and begin going through the motions of some kind of spell or magical effect. But you guys are free to do as you please.
Hondo, what happened? There's the crystal, the thing that was melting down. Your eyes went somewhere else.
I can't say.
Alana just kind of runs, sees Hondo there and just kind of gives him a hug. And it's just we almost lost you for a second. Oh my God. I can't believe we were going to send you there. And just frozen and stunned.
I'm stunned too. I'm like, what is going on right now? Am I dead?
You're very much alive, and that's all that matters right now.
I was going to the ethereal plane, but I was blocked.
In this moment, Mordenkainen finishes this spell with a kind of a fizzle of magic as you finish speaking, and his hands just kind of fall as he looks to your group with just kind of a shake of the head. Kind of keeps his eyes cast down, stroking his goatee. But continue.
There was a long couple of seconds there where I did not think this was going to go our way. Holy fuck. I'm just sinking to the ground. Just taking a breather.
Boone saved us. He sacrificed himself to save us. We almost didn't win there. We were screwed. We owe our lives to him. So let's just take this one as a win-loss.
A half smile. The motherfucker always wanted the last word. I guess he fucking got it.
He did.
He was a damn good person.
He was the best. He definitely earned the title of Wildcards honorary member.
Yeah, I mean, chuck me in the astral sea is a pretty fucking wild card move.
He was a pretty dull person, to be honest, but I do give him credit for this. This changes my opinion 100%.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
I just hope he didn't suffer in the end.
I look over at Mordenkainen. Is there anything change on his face?
At the suffering comment?
Just at anything he's been doing.
Just make an insight check. I'm not going to give your passives on him.
Sure. Even though my passives are stupid. Natural 20.
That's right.
Which for me is a 34, I think. Something like that.
you gather there is a look of resignation of knowing that he is what he just did was send someone to their deaths, and he is processing that and feeling loss, but in a logical sense. It's a
Very like pragmatic, like that's what I always kind of thought
yeah
about.
it was either one of you or this whole ward and all of us. So it makes sense to him, but knowing his hands are involved in another's death and in one's in such this way, it's taking a little bit of a toll, but you notice he's gathering himself rather quickly. And in this moment, as you guys are taking this kind of moment of silence and you're studying Mordenkainen, and you watch him process through this moment, and then the look turn kind of quizzical, and you can see him just kind of turn from like ruminating on the death to other things surrounding the event and today, and he becomes more of the analytical, pragmatic mind that you would expect very quickly.
To be honest, that's way more than I expected of him. So there's like a little bit more respect there than there has been, because everything she's heard is like he's kind of a dick who like would do good things every now and then. But more respect.
Yeah, I mean, probably if he hadn't been the one to send him, he probably wouldn't have such a connection, such a reaction to it. But it was a very heroic thing to just say, "Get me out of here, and I'll save this city." And he was the only one who could do it. And that's it's that kind of process. But then, like I say, very quickly, you watch his face shift to an analytical, like, okay, now I'm processing what were we just dealing with, and you see he, in this kind of lull, begins to kind of look towards the machine, which is now dully standing. I guess it's still gleaming with arcurite, but it is idle. It is inert. And he begins kind of looking in towards the open aperture of this cannon place thing, and just kind of looks over to any of you and just says, "Do you have any idea what this shard was?"
I'm trying to remember, because I think we do. Looking through my notes. Not that we know. Crap shit everywhere. I apologize. We knew there was a shard involved, and I'm just trying to remember how much we knew. It was the same color as what my blade is, right?
Yeah, it seems to bear significant similarities in terms of the construction, in terms of its makeup, and definitely in coloration.
Whatever it is, it has something to do with this and something to do with that. And I point over at where Hondo pitched a stake of the general's sword with his head on it.
Mordenkainen just asks, "Can I?" He just gestures to your blade. "May I inspect this? I assure you, sure. I'll return it to you."
Yeah, please don't fuck it up. It's a very, very good sword.
In truth, I don't intend on touching it. And you kind of hold it aloft, and he just kind of like magic, and it's just kind of floating before him. And you can see like a very quickly erupting cascade of a network of threads that are just kind of gently poking and prodding and like going along the blade itself in this kind of aura of blue magic, as he kind of mutters beneath his breath. And he kind of says, looking at the blade, but every now and again casting his eyes to all of you. This is a piece of a shard of power, a primordial creation beyond this or any realm's understanding. Made of elements we can't comprehend, nor find a terrestrial relation to. What we know of them is but a fraction of what they are capable of, which is why I knew the destruction it could cause once it began to erupt. Seemingly, even when separated from its whole, these small fractal pieces can carry such power that the potential of the whole is staggering. Your blade, likely, as he kind of nods his head over to the generals, is imbued with the same touch. The effects of this one, anyways, are of pure destruction. There are fundamental forces of all worlds, and each has its birthing point. It would seem this was connected to a piece of some shard of power that craved and exemplified destruction and death. Be careful with this blade. And he kind of gestures with like the mage hand to bring it back to you.
It's terrifying.
Indeed. However, possibly more terrifying to you. This particular shard is unlike any I have studied firsthand, only exuding destruction, sated only by death. Yet its signature, this intelligence and manipulative force it exuded, beyond the desire for ruin, that much I recognize. In your home, the heart of Vesaria, a shard akin to this one lies dormant, deep beneath the earth. The very shard by which Tharosden once shattered the plains. He broke through to our world, and in doing so set forth a chain of events that seemingly has yet to end. What his intent with it was, we lost as he lost his mind to it. No amount of divining or delving could give us those answers. The fraction of information I was able to find only came from seeking it beyond the borders of our conscious universe, in a realm far from here. In months of seeking, deciphering fragments, wishing upon every star, finally led to this realization that the shard of your world is of chaos. Chaos and evil incarnate. Through Tharosden, it sought to reshape a world fit for itself. But in his hands and his tortured mind, he could not harness the power. Both the shard and he were too chaotic. Neither could hold one another. This chaotic force devastated Vesaria. In his waking dream state, Tharosden leveled cities, armies. It was only when we sought to use his power against him did we find victory. Through it, we banished him into a prison realm, hundreds of layers deep. The realm you likely come to know as the Abyss. However, we could do nothing to the shard. In truth, we feared its existence. Yet pieces of it have proven useful. The allure of power and magic it exuded certainly gripped all who encountered it. It was only with the desire to keep Vesaria safe that no wars for control would break out over it. We buried it in the scar it tore in the realm. And there beneath the earth, with all creatures outside its influence, it fell dormant. And we turned our attention elsewhere.
So, fun fact, this armor, we found it in the desert next to a real big ass crystal buried in the ground. It was kind of fucking people up, trying to get into people's heads. Froze a bunch of people for a fuck ton of time, actually. There's where we found Damascus, who's currently in the Platinum Sanctuary called Noduth. Second point I thought could be super off base here. We have a friend named Lavender, and she has this like super crystally based magic, and it's definitely uber chaotic. Like a piece of crystal in her chest. Don't know if that's related. Yet another terrifying fact to think about when we're maybe not trying to stop the world from turning into hell. Yeah. We've encountered a lot of shit in the last few months.
I don't know enough of the pieces to put together the full puzzle. Know only this. In my great age and experience, this one thing has confounded and frightened me beyond all others. I know not if it plays into your futures, but it seems to have cropped up in your path. Be wary. In this moment, as you're having this conversation with Mordenkainen, you watch not even materializing in like a fade or a pop or a puff of some magic energy. The Lady of Pain stands before you. In a blink, and she's there, 10 feet tall, her robes flowing and tattered, but the strands kind of bound by a sourceless wind. The simple face mask, metal, never blinking, the wreath and crown of blades, her hands crossed before her and concealed beneath long flowing arms of her robes. She speaks. You see the mask unmoving, iron. And she speaks low, almost in a whisper. But it sounds as if she's whispering directly into your ears. No matter which direction you face, where she stands, how far away, it's right there. And she says, all true, though missing some pieces between. The shards are born of entities older than the worlds and planes themselves. Each shard was crafted by the nightmares of mortal existence. They exemplify the worst of life. Corruption, greed, annihilation, division. You should not seek to use the shard as your friend here tried. though by all appearances, the banishment of the oblivion saved your home, it has doomed it as well. Its presence has seeded the very earth your peoples stand upon with evil. It may be dormant, but its presence has been felt in the division of all of your peoples, in their warmongering, greed, and introspection. Its dormancy is what makes it a prime target for a master who can conquer chaos and use its power to bend and break that which should remain complete. When even the champions of the realm are broken dolls stained with black spots, what hope may yet there be? Perhaps some. Your service to Sigil is complete. Freedom is yours to take. Do so with my blessing. And I leave you with this. What fate-bound road you walk will lead you to a clash so great, its echoes are already being felt, reverberating through time. Do not fear. Take with you the weapons earned and the lessons won, for here you triumphed over that which was believed impossible, and slayed he who thought immortal. Go with my blessing. May you face your destiny with grace, and may you live to embrace death as an old friend. She turns, this whole time perfectly still, and turns her head to meet Mordenkainen. Mary, you pick up with your incredible insight. His heart rate spikes in that moment. But he doesn't flee or make anything other than you could read as fear. And she says openly, but directed at him, "As for you, magician, a lifetime of concordant service is owed. However, for your part played, perhaps a time of 10 years will suffice. Many a project and task in service of others over oneself can be done in a decade. I look forward to the changes you bring." Mordenkainen kind of nods his head slowly, and she's gone.
Both exceptionally cool and the scariest thing I've ever seen.
You feel, all of you, a weight lifted off of you you didn't realize had been there. Something internal, something weighing, your stomach feeling heavy, your heart ever so tight. Suddenly, free. What are you doing?
Well, that was a lot of information that I don't entirely have the brain power to process right now.
Maybe we should head back, especially if we're still trying to sort things out.
We're not gonna party our victory.
Look, you're free to go to as many fucking brothels as you want, man. I'm going to bed. I need to check on Valentine and make sure the duck didn't murder him. What are you doing? I guess now you're here for 10 years.
Yeah, that's not a life sentence, as I had thought.
Not gonna lie, I was really hoping that we could steal you back to the material plane for shit that's popping off in about a week, but...
Well, perhaps a week of good behavior and I'll see what I can do, but I make no promises. I seem to have just dodged a long life sentence. Maybe I shouldn't push it too further. Well, I know not what information I can offer you in aid and simply thank you for what you've done here, for doing what you didn't need to do, but doing what was right. And I hope that what comes to Vesaria, you face and triumph as you did here today. And I hope we meet again.
Can't say it's been a pleasure, but that's the circumstances, not you. Valentine will absolutely fucking murder me if I don't get his earring back.
So don't worry, there's lots of fine women and bars and restaurants. It's a good place to be.
That I do know. This place isn't the worst place to spend a decade or a lifetime, in truth. Though in service of the Hall of Concordance, I'll have to do a lot of mischief to make up for that.
Thank you. We wouldn't have been able to hold off any of this shit if you weren't here.
Well, I owed you. I believe that makes us square.
Yeah. Well, maybe if we all don't die in a week, we'll see you on the material plane in 10 years. Or if we don't die after that, which is unlikely, but you never know.
Well, for now, farewell, Wildcards. Travel safe. Fight well. He just nods, picks himself up, and begins to kind of hover and fly off over the rubble and out into the city streets.
I look at my stone Pegasus. I mean, I guess we're walking.
Yeah, I
This will
guess
be a long
so.
fucking walk. It is so late. We don't even know what time it is. What does time mean here?
It's actually not that late. You guys started right at nightfall. So it's actually not too bad. It's
Look,
only...
It feels late as fuck.
It feels late. You feel exhausted. You feel your bodies are worn.
Does anyone have less than 10 hit points? Let's cover that right up off the hop. Yeah, thank you, Boone, for raising your hand.
I have 11.
No, not less than 10.
Double digits, that's pretty good.
I'm at about, it feels like 20-ish.
Yeah, I'm at 40. Surprisingly, somehow I dodged some shit in the land. Brock, how are you doing? You almost died a couple times.
I have 15.
Alright.
I was
For now, that's all good enough to
away.
keep us from getting nuked on the way back from...
May I propose we should probably take the carpet back. I think we've earned it.
Yeah, that's fair. It also wouldn't hurt to get a bird's eye view on if Hondo's friends are still fucking shit up.
Huh? That's true. Could be some last-minute entertainment for the evening.
Alright, let's get the fuck back to second chances.
Mounting the carpet with only the four of you, it's actually possible to fit your party on there. It doesn't travel exceptionally fast, but traveling above the rooftops does provide you one aerial view of the, I wouldn't say sheer chaos, but activity in the streets, especially in the Hive Ward. The anarchists have certainly had their field day, and it seems like it has swung more into a riotous party than it has a normal riot. It seems like the mood is more a victorious one. And as you depart the Hive Ward and begin kind of cruising over from the clerks and back into the market ward, the city streets are busy and bustling, and actively word is spreading incredibly quickly. And as by the time you make it back to the market ward, you've watched and almost carried the wave of gossip and rumor with you as you've made your way over the city and land to a triumphant city, a free from this tyranny, a peoples who are hopeful of a new day. And throughout the city, you've seen pockets of some kind of disturbance, of some action from around the city, where there are you can see there are bound and held figures that you're too high up to see until you focus. And most of you on the carpet are very perceptive figures, and you can see Crimson Coin members have been round up and are just being tied up and held until they can be arraigned and determined by proper law. You can see mercy killers laying down helm and weapons in the streets and going a new direction. There is a wave of change rapidly getting this city. And as you return to Second Chances, word is just kind of reaching along with you that this scourge, this tyranny of the Crimson Coin, the general, has fallen. The city is free once more. And at this stage, I wouldn't say that your names are associated yet. It's more just the initial fervor of the explosion, this change that has come, the fallen general, the lady reclaiming, very much the ladies win. Though, surely your names will be spread in time. Making it back through into Second Chances with a very painful, given your serious injuries you've sustained, hug from Vidane to each of you. This back-breaking, just big Minotaur hug.
Dude, we've been stabbed so many times.
He doesn't stop. He just laughs, this big belly laugh, pours you all a drink, and many will buy you rounds in the night to come. However, the night is yours to reconvene with Valentine, head to your room for some rest, drink as you will, and rest. But
Kinda looks like he has a plan, a party
there's
plan.
anything you want to do as the night, as you return to Second Chances, the night is yours.
Nope, I'm just heading up to Val.
Yep. Fair enough.
I will gather my band of renegades.
There are many.
And oh yeah, and I will pay for their night out at the brothel.
Okay.
I say, men, feast or drown.
Oh god.
Be sure
no.
drown. Oh my god. So aggressive. You and a significant portion of these revelers make their way to the bathhouse and to associated bars and taverns and brothels around, and without actually costing you a single gold piece.
Oh, I should also point out, I should say men and women. There were women renegades as well.
Of course. There are all kinds, not just humanoids.
And creatures too, yes.
Mm-hmm. And all take part in your debauchery. So for the night, Hondo is gone, but the rest of you, Alana, you bound up the stairs back to the room to await Valentine. What are you doing in your room?
Just
Are you
fucking.
fighting a duck?
No, I never opened that door. I think I would have just been staring out the window, just like trying to see through the crowd. It sounds good, but when Brawley opens the door, I'll just like can't really run. Just like walk. I'm feeling a little stronger. I'll walk
You're
over
okay
and just
now.
grab her. Yeah.
You're a couple days past death.
I knew you guys could do it. I knew you could fucking do it. You did it.
We honestly were this close to not making it. And we wouldn't have made it if it weren't for Boone.
Where is that fucking guy? I'm gonna give him. I'll kiss him right on the lips. I swear.
No, he's gone. He sacrificed himself to save us.
Fuck.
Took it to the astral sea.
You got the general though.
We got him. Yeah, Mary. That was all Mary. You're gonna have to hear how she did it. It was really cool.
He. I found some when you guys left. He'd left a letter here, but I'll maybe just save it till the rest of us are together.
Okay.
Where's Hondo? I thought I saw like a crowd of people just surging through the city following a blue skin. Okay.
Yeah. You know, up to his usual stuff. I wouldn't worry
Why
about
don't-
that right now.
Why don't we go downstairs to Mary, maybe get a drink, see if Gord's there?
Yeah. They're all downstairs.
I'm really glad you're okay.
I'm glad you're okay too.
I'll just like hobble down. By the way, the duck has been trying to get out for the last 5 hours.
He's still in there?
Oh, I'm not opening that door ever again. No.
Oh God. Well, we have to do something about
Actually, I should
it.
stop at a bathroom as we walk downstairs because I haven't been able to go. So I'm sure there's a lobby bathroom.
There is.
And is Keith around as well?
Yeah, the stables around the backside of the tavern, just kind of into like the alleyways. He's there, feeling a little lonely. All the partying around, and he's just there.
You just saved the city. No one's gonna bat an eye if you bring a goat into the bar.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get him and bring him back
Shove
so
this
he
goat
can hang
in
out
the
with
bar.
us.
Yeah. Cue the other guy's montage of drinking and debauchery. Unless there's any conversations or things you guys want to accomplish in the party of second chances and frivolities of the market board, you pay no coin for any drink, any food. Everything is handed to you and much more than you intended to imbibe. As people recognize, people here already know of your actions, and so this is almost where your legend, your involvement is spread from.
Early on in the night, can I ask Gord and Mary, like if we're sitting at a table or something, when there's a break in the revelry and people coming up to us, did we learn what we needed to learn when we came here?
Yeah. Gord's got it. It's things got a little complicated and we don't know what the repercussions are. But we're good.
Okay. So we leave tomorrow, I guess. We gotta get back.
We do. I mean, I'd go home tonight if I could, but admittedly, well, Hondo's not here. 1, 2.
What if we left him?
I know you love to shit on Hondo, but we would not have got through any of this without him.
I know.
He got to be a giant purple worm, and I'm pretty sure it was one of the highlights of his life. So let him tell you the story and like look real impressed, because I'm sure he's going to be telling everyone in the quarter of the town. Everyone's going to hear.
Hondo,
But I think tomorrow,
the
before
big
we
worm,
get, yeah, it's fitting.
the blue.
So much phallic imagery going on. I think before we should go home, we have a shit ton of gold
Yeah.
and platinum, and home is going to be it's war effort.
Scarce. Yeah.
There's going to be nothing. We're shot for potions. We used every fucking thing we have. We need a bit of shopping tomorrow, and then
every potion they got, yeah, and then go home. Good job, guys. Cheers.
Fucking missed you out there.
You're telling me I had to just sit and hope you guys didn't fuck up.
Came close, but we're good.
Hey, to boon Vedette. Into
Yeah.
going home.
Aww. To
Cheers.
boon into going home.
Speaking of, I'll read you this little red letter he wrote. I doubt Hondo would care. It says, to the Wildcards, open up the letter. If you're reading this, sorry. Fuck, what does being done like? If you're reading this, we won. That's what matters most. Do me 2 favors. Don't let anyone wield regrets. It's cursed, and I want any regrets to end with me. And lastly, if you ever find yourself hopping the plains, come across 2 tieflings named Reed and Liliana, tell them I never stopped trying to go home. Thank you for the adventures, Wildcards. Now go save your home. And I'll just like fold that, put it in my little chest pocket.
Oh, that fucker knew. I had a feeling he wasn't gonna accept anything less than giving it his all. Yeah, we got Huck this thing somewhere. No one else could find that shit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I need as much sleep as I can before we literally hop the planes tomorrow.
Yeah, let's go the fuck to bed. People keep trying to buy me drinks, and I just keep accepting them and then pouring them into Gord's cup. And I don't think he can get drunk anymore because he's had like 40 drinks.
Do you think you're strong enough to fight a goose or a duck right now?
Yeah, but I'm still don't entirely understand how it works. If we kill the duck, does it come back as a thing that's going to murder us? I'm not sure how that magic works. We've discussed it at length. I vote the second before we leave, we like open door real fast and then get the fuck out of here and let other people deal with the murderous duck.
It's like a bee. We could open a window, open the door, and just
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, with all that, your night comes to a close. And you all, minus Hondo, fall into a restful, rejuvenating sleep, a slumber that will take you to level 18.
Oh shit! Except Hondo, he was raving.
Hondo. He will lose a level from exhaustion.
Cut to Hondo rave scene. Hondo just dancing.
And I think what we should do is, rather than roleplay out the shopping business, because it can take us from a bunch of different places, we should just quickly
buy shit.
Buy what you want. Tell me what you want. I gave you guys the list ahead of time. If there's anything beyond the list, we can talk about it. But we don't have to do it kind of in character. We can kind of just try and rapid fire, get through the shopping as quickly as we can, and then we'll do the leveling up, and then we'll go home.
Let's do it.
Who knows how much money we have?
I do. We have 30,000 gold. Literally that we got from the safe. We also have like another 7,000 gold and platinum. That's pretty much it. We can just go off of like having basically 30. So.
Can I get Valentine at some point to identify the other items we found in the general?
Sure. You found on the general.
You've already told me what they are.
I'm going off memory. Yeah, so there's I'll link them in the chat here. Give me 2 seconds. You find the goggles the general was wearing that you didn't necessarily take note of in the moment. They are these kind of red lensed goggles, similar to Mary's goggles of night, that are kind of a headband goggles with these red lenses. They're called Predator's Sight, and they give you blind sight out to a range of 60 feet.
Sick. Attunement?
They are attuned.
Attunement.
The general's tactical armor Give me 2 seconds. Tactical armor is pretty tight. Suit of armor is segmented for greater flexibility by separating the pieces and reinforcing each with arcuate. It provides greater protection without restricting movement. The arcuate plate acts as a magical sponge. When you're targeted by an elemental magic effect, you can use your reaction to absorb a portion of that damage into the armor and redistribute it across the connected pieces. Until the start of your next turn, when you're hit, it deals 1d8 points of damage back to whoever hits you with a melee attack. And I don't remember exactly. I think it's plate armor that does not count as heavy. If that makes sense.
Allie, I don't know if you got a free attunement slot or if you can make one.
I might
Oh,
be
there's
able
so
to
much
make
shit
one.
now.
It's
Oh,
not
there's so
attuned.
much shit.
Oh, fuck, never mind. You can just have it.
Okay, if no one else wants
Can
it.
she even? So it's plate, but it doesn't count as plate. So could she wear that in rage?
Yeah, but it would count as, I think it's going to come up as medium, but it's going to be heavy 18 armor.
Oh wow.
So it should
Your
be
AC is gonna
18 plus your
spike.
full dexterity mod.
Ooh. Yeah, if
Final
no one else
fight,
wants
y'all.
it.
Yeah, no, you take that. That's good.
Thank you.
Put it on your character sheet. Let me know like what your AC becomes, and we'll see if I fucked up making it. Because I have what I intend and what I make are two different things. He also had his shard blade, which is attuned. Pardon me. And has jeez, I'm gonna cough. It's attuned. It does not act like Mary's does. Instead, it can do a banish with a save on a critical hit, which is what happened to Mary and Alana in the first fight. So it's a relatively low charisma save. You guys just sucked at making charisma saves. And it's just a standard plus. I don't actually have it written here, but I think it's a +2 longsword.
Cool.
So there's that.
Pretty
Realistically,
neat.
the reason I didn't make it is because in terms of weaponry, most of your weapons are better
We got some cool shit.
for a chance at a critical banish. The banish is cool, but it's only on a crit, and there's a save involved. The other stuff was cooler. If you want it,
Yeah.
I'll make it. You can have it, of course. For the time being, you can just write down General Shardblade.
Cool. Done.
I just figured your weapons are better. Now, in terms of stuff that you guys wanted to get, there was a list of items and things from the Maiden of Joaquin. There were the potential runes you could have scribed into your armor from the Whistling Giants. There was healing and potions and things from the Temple of Defiers. And from the Maiden of Joaquin and from various places around, you could certainly find, I know, Kev, you had wanted some scrolls. That would not be hard to manage either. So it's just going to come down to literally, let's do math and find out what it all is you all want to buy. Okay, so we just did a bunch of shopping and leveling up off camera, but we're going to recap everything now, so you don't have to sit through a lot of boring dice rolling and purchasing. So there was a lot of purchasing done with the loot that was stolen and taken from the Crimson Coin. So Scott, what do you got?
Oh my god. Okay, so Allie is now wearing the General's tactical armor. Brawley, what is your AC now?
Oh, it's 19 now. Yeah.
What was it before? Like
16.
Yeah, that's dope.
I went up by 3, which is amazing.
Big jump.
So we bought ×2 potions of fire resistance, ×2 elixir of health. We had to roll on this stuff. Kyle would like prompt us to see how much of stock would be. 1 potion of invulnerability, and this is whittling down from all the money we got from the loot.
We started
4,
at like 30 some odd thousand.
Yeah. 4 regular healing potions, 2 greater potions, 1 superior potion, 1 dispelling stone, 1 potion of vitality, the +2 shield that boosts Val's AC now up to 20. Mary bought 10. What are they? +1 arrows, Leah?
Yeah.
10 plus 1 arrows. Val bought a scroll of Lehman's tiny hut. I don't know if you were there for that, Mary, but now I can add that to my ritual book so we can cast that, which is dope. And Hondo, what spells did you buy?
Arcane Hand and
And-
non-detection.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Val's gonna wear the pink Ioun Stone of Fortitude. So now he'll have Ethereus, Warden of the Fae, and the Ioun Stone. And I think that's all we bought, but now it's level time.
Yeah, so I'll recap what everyone did on their levels just to fly through it, and then we're going to do our hit point rolls. So, Alana took another level in Barbarian, took Tough, is going to be super fucking tough and hard for me to kill. Valentine went Bard and did a bunch of crazy shit to get his Constitution with Resilient up, and with the Fortitude Ioun Stone, his health is surprisingly high. Hondo continued his path down the roguish arts and is getting better at sneaking and jumping on top of things. Gord continued down the path of Warlock and has swapped several invocations and spells to make himself even more of a badass. And Mary did the same in her path in Fighter to continue her Battle Master and took some cool new maneuvers to continue that trek. And now's the time to roll for hit points. So, D12 for Alana, D10 for Mary, and 8s for the other guys. We reroll ones,
Okay.
but
D8, you
otherwise,
said?
yeah, D8 for you. It automatically has added your Constitution modifier, so whatever you roll, just add to your rolled HP in
Rolled
D&D
HP.
Beyond. Call it out when you roll.
Here we go.
Roll
Six!
one. I'm re-rolling.
Highest
You
I've
can
ever
reroll a
rolled.
1, 6 for Val, which makes sense with all the HP increases.
Now it's a 9.
A 9 for Mary, that's huge. Hondo
Oh,
gets another
sorry,
3.
Hondo.
What dice? Sorry.
D8 for you, Gord.
D8.
Brawley.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, 3 for Brawley
2.
and 2 for Gord.
Fuck, that sucks.
A little below average across the board, except for Valentine and Mary.
Let's do it, baby.
But
So we just add it to our modifier.
so add
Add it to-
the rolled HP number. So under max HP at the top should be a little blue thing. Then on the left side is rolled HP. Just add whatever you roll to that, and it already adds your modifier, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So everyone should be sitting pretty. Long rest if you haven't done that yet. Click through your long rest. Brock, 2 things.
Oh no.
The first is just let's go through really quick and roll for your staffs to get your staff charges back. I'm trying to keep track of that myself so that we don't get confused later on. I'm going to find your staff. Let's do Azuth's Fate. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for me.
Well,
You rolled 12?
yeah.
Damn. So it's 2d6 plus 3, so add 15 charges back to Azuth's Fate, which I think it's full. So you can just ratchet that up to full.
Yep.
And Staff of Greater Healing, roll a d8.
That's what we were low on.
8.
Oh my god.
Back to full. It's plus 4.
Fucking max on both of these rolls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great
So
job.
both staves instantly back to full.
Don't forget too, guys, to because I know we used all our shit. A lot of the custom items Kyle built stupidly don't know to take their own charges off
Sometimes.
sometimes. So just check your items, like Allie, your armor and shit,
Yeah.
and make sure that the
Unclick
charges are unchecked.
any of the recharge things. Lastly,
Sorry, what was I supposed to add that to?
so both your
2 I rolled?
your 2. Oh, your health? Is that what you
No.
rolled the 2 on?
He means like the charges. Brock, you just go and uncheck all those charges manually from your staves.
Yeah, so in your inventory, if you click on it,
No, sorry. The roll before that when I rolled the
Oh.
D8. What was that for again?
that's for your health. So
Oh.
go to manage character and levels again.
Yep.
And then top right, manage HP. It's like a blue
Yeah, wait.
box.
Yeah.
And then just add that to your rolled HP. Increase whatever the rolled HP is by 2. So it should bring you up to
Okay.
114. Now, while I have you here,
Thanks.
Mark,
Sorry.
no worries. While I have you here, as the night progressed and everyone imbibed and let loose a little before crashing after a tumultuous journey and a hectic series of battles, all amongst this, your collective goal was to acquire the true name of Asmodeus. You've done so. You found the Book of Keeping. You've pushed your way through its trials, and despite its best attempts to tear you and your mind apart, you withstood the storm, and you learned the devil's name, the true name, in a almost like an ancient celestial tongue. You don't even speak celestial, but you know that's what it is innately. The name Ahriman, Ahriman. The knowledge itself is heavy. To know it, you feel a burden. You feel in the back of your mind a weight that just persists. And you've been accustomed to such things in your patronage, your warlock profession, your adventuring career. But this has some weight that even you haven't yet felt. In your rest, whether you sleep or attempt to avoid sleep and just relax, in the night, you feel that presence, that weight in your mind. Just a creeping sensation. Just this faint tickle in the back of your skull. The hairs all across your back stand. And it's like a faint, almost like the wind whipping through your mind itself. There's this faint kind of breeze that's constantly encircling your mind like a fog. And that name is just constantly, you can't stop like repeating it in your mind. And then you're repeating it in your voice, in your mind. And then there's another voice repeating it. There's another voice repeating it. Make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Come on, Gord.
First roll was 13. Second roll is 12.
Okay. Totals? Not just the D20s? That's your
Yep.
total? As you're constantly kind of repeating in your mind, you don't sleep. And for you, that's not the end of the world. Sleep is not something you necessarily need. But your rest is tormented. Your sense of self questioned. And as the hour upon hour upon hour of this continues, you begin to feel this heat, this almost feverish heat You sweat. And just kind of everything feels uncomfortable. And just as the light of dawn breaks across the city of doors, the fever abates. The sense of presence fades. And you almost swear you hear someone speak, but the words are lost, too far away. Something between you and them. The weight remains, but these other sensations fade. But the morning greets the rest of you, rejuvenated, ready for another day. It is currently exactly 1 week to the fateful day that will become the final night for Vesaria. At midnight, 1 week from now, the fourth seal, the Hell Gate, the Revenant Vow, all comes to a head. You have this time to prepare. You have this time to return home. So what's the plan?
Shop. Cutscene shopping. We back.
I will say, getting the armor rune put on Hondo's armor will take you the better part of the day. And most of the shop, it's a lot of shopping you did. So the better part of the day is gone. I'm going to say, we're going to put you into dinner time by the time this, by the time we catch up with all of this that's happened.
How's the city look generally?
There's still an air of revelry. There's still a, the things are still kind of starting to get back to normal. The gossip has yet to abate. But there's a sense of success across the people. The people are joyous. You see no signs of mercy killers or crimson coin anywhere.
I find me and Allie's little new favorite pastry shop.
Mhm.
Make sure we get some pastries to go.
Yeah.
I don't even remember his name.
You do indeed stop by, and he tries to recount the story that he's been told of what happened. It's wildly incorrect. It takes very long.
Oh, no.
But he does provide really fucking good pastries.
So
They're maple, and there's a little like pecans and stuff.
Mm.
At some point, I'll probably just to Vidane or someone. I'm gonna hand off the few journals, not journals. I can't remember what they're called. We have a couple books that we stole, like record books, from the mansion, and also that family tree that's been doctored. And just give it to him and say, hey, if you, I don't even know if the building's still standing, but if anyone's able to get this over to I can't even remember the name of the newspaper. Oh,
yeah. The Cager?
Yeah, just maybe someone there can do something with this.
Yeah. He takes them. He has no kind of knowledge of what it is, but just kind of says he'll do his best. Says he'll get it to the right hands.
can I pay for a shrine where Boone had slammed down regrets before he left? Kind of have almost like pay the Dane or Doc to just make some sort of shrine, like cement it into the ground, add smith hammers for the smiths who died alongside, just as like a memorial to them and their sacrifice.
Yeah, it's the night previous, Doc had yet to kind of show up, or at least you didn't see him. Actually, that's not true. the more perceptive of you would have seen him not come in and celebrate, and specifically kind of see that you returned and left the revelry. However, the following day he does make his trek up to the market ward, and for his part finds your group and just says, in response to a shrine, he says, well, I'm sure he would hate that, so of course we're gonna have to honor his
That's
memory.
right.
I feel a little guilt for setting him on this path.
I have a feeling he would have ended up in a similar situation regardless of where you pointed him.
Did he at least go his way?
Exactly his way. His call.
I think a shrine will be just fine. I don't know what's going to become of the compound. In truth, it's going to take a hell of a lot of work to clean up. I walked by early this morning. The lady had her stooges at it. They're making quick work of it, but it's going to be a minute.
If you ever need help in the city, Mordenkainen, a wizard, we kind of owe each other a debt, and you just let him know that you're close with the Wildcards, and he should be able to set you straight if you ever need a favor or two.
At least for the next 10 years or so.
Yeah, the next decade.
It's an oddly specific timeline, but yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'm hoping we can make some big changes here. I know Amber and the rest of us are hoping perhaps it's time we take a bigger role, more hands-on approach to leadership in this city. We sat back for too long. Well, you saw what happened.
I think you guys should.
Hear if Kellic got back?
Haven't heard. His name hasn't come across anything. Is he?
He was sent home. Worse for wear, but alive.
There's another blessing.
Maybe check in on Hilda. Make sure she's all right.
Yeah, I'll make a stop there this evening.
It was good to meet you under strange circumstances, but you were good to us. You were good to me in particular. I wouldn't be standing here without you.
You showed me a kindness without knowing me for more than a second. It's the first thing you ever did. I saw. And you never stopped doing the right thing. This whole time you've been here. No debts owed here.
Have you seen Hondo, by the way? We can't find him since last night. He tried a couple brothels and
There's a significant missing portion of the workforce.
Mhm.
If you find them, you'll find him, I'm sure.
Okay.
Probably
best to
runs
check
up
the
to him.
bathhouse.
Raleigh runs up to him and like hugs his leg and just goes like that.
He kind of just bends down and returns the hug.
Well, maybe we'll come back.
I hope so. If you do, come find me. I'd love to hear more of your tales. See what you've been up to. And I hope that you'll find the city in a better place than you first found it.
Can't wait.
I'll show you the shrine when you return.
I'd like that.
As we walk through the streets, I'll just be like I was more funny. All right, Hondo, are we close
Oh,
enough now?
I'll put my earring
Where
on.
the fuck are you?
Is this thing
Hondo,
on?
You are
Hondo,
found where?
I'm in the sewer where we had the initial meeting. You know,
Okay.
with
Yep.
the chef.
You're
You had a
actually very
sewer
close
rave.
then.
That sewer rave makes so much sense.
It does make sense. And it's actually pretty close to Second Chances. Surprisingly, it's just under the streets of the market ward here. So it's not far off. But you do come worse for wear, and you don't smell great. But the amount of revelry you had the previous night will I'd like to think puts all your other past debauchery to shame.
Wow.
It was insane. I mean,
We see him crawling out of a sewer as he's telling us that.
someone like was cooking a goat right in front of us. Like they brought an actual goat into the place and cooked it for
What
everyone.
do you mean, goat?
It's not your goat. Don't worry. I checked.
Keith said.
Goat's just
And-
like mortified at the sound of goat.
Like I at some point I thought I saw fairies. I don't even know if what I was looking at. Like there were fairies in the room. Like it was wild.
I just envision children, half-triton children in the Feywild, now half-triton children in Sigil. Just the scourge of Hondo the Blue continues.
Just leave it as Mark wherever he goes.
I will say, I don't know if it was us or fans of the show, please comment if you're watching, suggested running a one-shot of Hondo bastards of various races, which would be really, really good.
All half tritons.
Yeah. Look forward to that charity stream coming soon.
It was wild. I saw an elf with an orc. I didn't even think that was possible. You know,
Hey, man.
there's a
Love
cool
is love
flash
is love
there.
is love, you know? You smell, so hopefully we get back to the Platinum Sanctuary or somewhere where we can just douse you and, I don't know.
I wouldn't mind being doused in like, you know, like do we have any like chemicals, you know, like
Yeah.
Just acid, and honestly, I don't think that's going to take off the specific stuff you need to get taken
Maybe
off.
take your
take
decanter
it off your
water off
skin.
and just like hose yourself down.
Maybe like an exorcism too while we're at
like
it.
I think I somehow have stomach acid from like someone cut someone open right in front of me and I have like stomach
What the
acid.
fuck?
all
Are you
What
sure
did
they
you
didn't
do
just puke
last
on
night?
you, or you puke on yourself?
Like it was, well, he puked after he sliced them open. It was insane. The guy like, it's like, yo, do it. I bet you I'll survive. He did it.
He,
Oh, he survived, but he wasn't the same after.
I don't think I'm the same after.
It's
Story. Do y'all want to go home? I think your armor is ready, Hondo.
I'm ready.
I'll pull out a polished platinum doorknob that these cats managed to win. in the,
So we have to
Trials of
decide
Sigil.
what door it's going to be going into.
I was thinking, what if we did like the basement of Second Chances? We could ask for Dane.
Yeah.
That way, if we ever get back here, we could go back up to our room.
I
Sound
like
good?
the idea. Yeah.
Go back to Second Chances with all our gear. Check out Dane.
All right. With
Release the duck real quick before we leave, or at least let someone know about the duck.
with the duck freed, with your spoils won, you're led down into kind of a cellar beneath. And there's a storage cupboard basically off to the side of the main cellar. And Vidane doesn't really understand what it is you're really asking at the time,
Can we use this door?
but he just is happy to oblige. Val, you go ahead and place the knob on the door.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Y'all ready? Bring Keith down the stairs.
It's tight. It's tight, but the stairs are big enough for Vidane, so they're big enough for Keith.
Yeah, that's fair.
With this polished, kind of ornate-looking doorknob, you reach out, and when it's maybe an inch or so from the wood, it jumps forward, magnetized, and as soon as it kind of connects, you see very quickly, like script all around the exterior of the doorknob, across the interior, and fill the doorknob, and then it just immediately begins almost like a weld around the door. You see this arcane writing begin to kind of form, and there's a flash, and then everything kind of fades ever so slightly. The spell of this doorknob has taken root, and as you reach out to grab the doorknob, it is solid to this door. You couldn't move that if you tried. You open it once, and still the cellar. Just more storage. Close it. You turn it back to where you were before, but you can feel there's a little more. You turn it like another full turn to almost where the point where your hand is almost fully contorted backwards. And then you pull, and immediately you can feel the warmth rush through. What door do you intend to connect to?
Do you mind if we chat about it, or do you want me to make a quick decision?
No, it could have been chatted about. So yeah.
I think the Platinum Sanctuary is a good call because it's like already a hidden place.
There's Platinum Sanctuary. There's also Mordenkainen's tower where he used to have one. He used to have like a tower of like
We
doors.
could get back to the Platinum Sanctuary room.
Get to see Uth.
This will be there. We could do our keep itself, but who knows what state Arendale's in. We've been there a little bit.
Platinum Sanctuary is probably safe, and we have a lot of shit to update with.
But is it safe if we're... What if someone just stumbles downstairs from Second Chance, just
Yeah, we
winds
don't know
up in
how
the
that
Platinum
works,
Sanctuary?
It does become an open door.
Right, so maybe you're right about
Let's do the wastes of winter,
Arctic.
the tower. Yeah.
yeah.
I say Arendelle, actually. I think
I do not want a bunch
I
of
don't want randos coming in through my
our house.
closet. Middle of the night at the college campus. Tower?
Yeah, tower.
I'm
Yeah,
And
tower.
then we have the key so we can get back to
So you're
Platinum
choosing
Sanctuary from there.
one of the unopened doors from the tower.
Yeah, like one of the busted, maybe. Like, there was a bunch that we saw that were not active. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, there were several that had that were just stone. There was no connection.
Yeah, let's do
it. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't ultimately matter which one because there's no physical connection on the other side. But you, instead of feeling warmth, you feel intense cold. As you crack the door open ever so slightly, and you see snow immediately just burn and blow past. And you swing open into a Arctic tundra in a twilight, in a dark sky, lit only by the faint light coming from within this cellar. You can't really see anything outside other than snow and cold. And
Can I scribble out of order on a piece of paper and put on the door or something like that?
yeah, sure, easy
Yeah,
enough.
put out of order. Well,
You all
let's go
cross
home.
through.
Yeah, let's go home.
Once more, you step foot on Vesaria, though not the most hospitable part of Vesaria. The north is frigid, though as you enter into the remains of the Tower of Doors, the kind of open top, you do see there is a kind of roiling, there is a light of like an aurora that is casting a faint light across the frigid wastes. What are you doing now? You're just in the middle of the tundra.
Wow, that's
Oh shit, who has the
weird.
fucking key?
That's really beautiful. Yeah, let's use the key to go to Platinum
Freezing.
Sanctuary.
Dig through all our shit. God damn it.
I think it's this one, and then we end up in the fireplace or whatever.
Return to the sanctuary?
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to scramble around and find the right door in this sudden burst of cold takes a second, and you're all very quickly reminded why this sucks and that you didn't prepare for cold weather. Hondo's fine.
Look, we haven't had weather for a very long time.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a shock to the system.
Oof.
Very quickly, your frustrations with one another kind of grow for a moment of just like,
Just use the
"God damn it,
key.
why
Just
didn't
find
we
it.
think about this? Why didn't we plan or talk instead? Why are we just doing shit?" But the key is found, the door is found, you open and into the now very warm Platinum Sanctuary.
Oh,
You
God.
stumble and tumble over top of a series of books, towers of books, into the library. At this hour, there's no sign of Damascus in the library, though you can see his work as there are towers of books lying about. There are parchments and papers and all these things. And you return to the Platinum Sanctuary. There's a passing few moments before the door behind kind of closes of its own accord, and very quickly whoosh, the fireplace portal is no longer a portal and now a fireplace once more. In the distance you can hear Hondo, Mary, Val. You can hear the faint sound of shifting movement beyond the door that is ajar to the library into the main hall. But it sounds far away, but otherwise quiet.
Let's go check that out.
I was fucking starving. Like a cold shocked my
Yeah, I'm
system.
pretty hungry, actually. Start walking forward. Just hand casually on Aetherius, always expecting the worst whenever we fucking come here.
You guys make your way into the Hall of Heroes and see once more the statues of the champions of ages past. And you can see at the far end of the hall, moving relatively quickly down the hall, you see the robust form of Teddy,
Fuck yeah.
just slowly kind of like trying to pull along while Uth walks gently beside him. And you can see Teddy is got a full harness across his chest and like a leash holding him back. And there is this massive armored spectral like angelic figure that the leash is like being held by, and he's slowly kind of being pulled by Teddy in this leash as Uth is just like putting out a treat for him to like follow, and is just like slowly like training him down the hall.
Like
Strength
puppy
training.
training.
Yeah. As he kind of gets just about to where you are, the other side of the Hall of Heroes, which is a rather large rotunda hall, you see Teddy begin to like really fight against the Guardian as he spots you guys, and is just trying to like really fight to go before Uth kind of turns with a smile, and kind of a dismissive wave, the Guardian fades away, and Teddy bounds towards you all. He is still not fully grown, but he is thick. He is big. He's a little smaller than Keith still, but still very big. And he bounds towards you as Uth smiles wide beneath his golden dragonborn scales, in a kind of simple, like kind of white frock with the platinum dragon symmetry. He nods his head towards you all.
I brace myself for a hug. I know I'm better, but I brace myself for Teddy. Just like, come on.
He bowls through you like no.
Just lay him down.
And he just like he like is all over each one of you at a time, just like for like 1 second each before running and just smashing into the next person. Before
This sounds very familiar
Yeah.
to anyone who's ever met.
Sounds
our
like a
dog.
dog I know.
you hear this faint, very short, like terse, like whistle, coming from Uth, and immediately Teddy stops, and turns and faces him before like kind of putting his head down and like trotting over to Uth in the center of the Hall of Heroes. Before he sits, Uth gives him a treat, ruffles his feathers. We've been hard at work here. I trust you have been doing some hard work yourselves. It's wonderful to have you back.
Did we tell you we met Mordenkainen, your ancient friend?
I actually, out of game, I can't remember, honestly.
No, we did. So we told him,
Okay.
and then we told him he died.
Well,
Not dead. Hashtag not dead.
not canon. Yeah, we were happy to be home. We got trapped in the city of doors.
I've never been myself, however, heard many a tale.
I
Hopefully
died.
it'll admittedly be a lot less shitty now than it would have been like, 2 days ago.
We glossed over a moment there.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm back. We did find Mordenkainen, who's not dead anymore. He's there.
It takes a second to like process that. And then just kind of nods and smiles and says, I shouldn't be surprised. If anyone could cheat death for the 100th time, it would be him.
He's stuck in servitude to the Lady of Pain for like probably a cool 10 years. Maybe a little early on good behavior, but maybe in a decade, if we survive the next week, he'll be back.
That's surprisingly generous.
Yeah. We did a thing. There was a whole like revolution we started. Hondo, man, I've never seen. When he was telling us what he did last night in the revelry, he's got some stories for you.
I cannot wait to hear them.
I mean, I'm sure the Great Tooth here has had stories 10 times more marvelous.
The stories of my age are, well, they're quite grand. But it's never too late to learn a new story, and yours is most certain to please. I hope it is rather late. Would you? I don't have anything prepared.
No, it's fine.
Your return is much needed. Time is ticking away, and I've grown worried. Perhaps not that you had lost your way, but perhaps been taken too far off the path. I'm glad to see you return.
I think so are we.
Perhaps rest, and in the morning, I have some things for you.
Oh, great.
Some conversation. Yes.
Okay. It's great to see you.
Likewise.
I just need to see like the sky for a moment. I'm gonna go up top.
Of course. If you'll excuse me. Good evening. We'll speak in the morning.
Good night. Yeah, see you in the morning.
He exits and makes his way towards the his kind of side of the sanctuary. Your rooms are available to you along the main kind of hall here, but easily enough, you're able to make your way up top to a not quite full moon, but getting there. relatively clear skies. And it's very warm, very warm. But it's nice to see the stars.
Yeah, I'll look up at like familiar stars. Look up at the moon. Kind of like pick up some sand while I run through my hands. And then I'll take Aetherius out and make a big circle and start a summoning circle for Fern. And in part summoning for Fern, but in part having felt so separated from the Summer Queen, where we were just trying to reestablish that connection.
As you're going through this process, go ahead and make a charisma check.
Got it. 19.
As you're summoning Fern and going through the motions of the ritual of summoning your steed, in the markings of the ritual circle, in these fey enchanted kind of weavings, you're trying to reestablish that connection that has been so strained. And it's hard. It's very hard. Like working a muscle that is atrophied. And after a time, you see the magic itself begin to kind of reinvigorate through Aetherius, through the sigils, through your natural abilities. And you begin to watch as the sigils kind of light and ignite, and Fern's form begins to kind of like almost magically kind of materialize. Fern appears, but you're very perceptive. You notice at the fringes of each of the kind of sigils and around the exterior of the circle, there's this faint burning. There's a faint burning and then withering sensation at the edges. Fern returns full, happy, runs towards you, head down, embraces. And you can feel reestablished in your connection to the Summer Queen. Through Fern, through Aetherius, through your abilities, she is there. But she is in pain. The Fey realm is at as much threat as this realm. If the veil were to fall, the Summer Court could fall too. She can feel, she's without speaking, that tension comes through.
Looking back, seeing there's no one there, or no one that I can perceive because not paying attention, Val will just cry. Val will just like cry for being back, cry for Fern, cry for what they just went through, cry for what they're about to go through, cry for the Feywild, cry for the Veil. And then just eventually just like look at the moon, just like lean against Fern.
Fern just sits and tries to console as best he can. Just being cute.
Just a little wing around me. All right, buddy. It starts tomorrow.
Just a look of acknowledgement. And like a stern face. Is there anything else for anyone before we jump to the next morning?
I'm imagining Allie is just like passed out on top of Keith. He won't leave her alone.
Yeah, so cold.
Yeah.
Hondo, take a shower and look one here. Take advantage.
Take 2 showers, actually.
Just sleep. You can breathe in water. Just sleep in a bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
That is good. I will sleep in the bath.
Definitely doable. The showers and bath here is rather nice, surprisingly. Gord, the night's rest once more. You enter your room, you retire. And whether you begin to sleep or you stay awake, your choice, whatever you want to do. In the wee hours, that feverish, tickling sensation rises up your back once more. It's stronger. Still being kept at bay. Make an Arcana check.
9.
That feverish sensation begins to slowly creep over, and you feel flush, you feel nauseous, and suddenly you feel that you have a sleep paralysis, a waking nightmare, sitting still, staring into the ceiling, the void of these darkened kind of sandstone rooms. And there's just this pressure on the sides of both sides of your head, like fingertips just jabbing in and pulling at the sides of your face, and then deeper into the skull and into your mind, trying to rend your skull in two. The sun rises. That sleep paralysis fades. But there is some unsettling notion to the knowledge you have gained, and perhaps the awareness that you know it. For the rest of you, a full night's rest, another long rest. From no combat yesterday to another comfortable night in nice beds, nice and warm. You awake to a hero's feast, if not the spell version, for breakfast, as Uth has pulled out all the stops. There are a little bit of everything, and he's busy at work in the garden, preparing bowls of fruit to go along with the freshly made breakfast. As you're brought in, Damascus and Uth are already at the ready. Well, as you all come to breakfast, unless there's anything you want before. There's actually one other thing. Just debating if it's going to happen. No, you know what? It won't happen yet. That's cool. Yeah. Morning comes, breakfast. It's great. It's nice. Everyone's happy. Uth
Oh my god, he
is...
made the cinnamon rolls, and I'm just like, way too much.
That coffee is fresh.
Yeah, she's had 3 cups already. Like,
You can see Uth is in brighter spirits. Mary, you're certainly the first that would have picked up on it, but the rest of you certainly might have picked up on Uth being a little down the night before. Obviously happy you were back and happy your return, but it just wasn't the this like bright vibrancy that you see this morning. Damascus is still very tired, but he is happily enjoying breakfast and happy to reconnect with all of you as your tales are told, your legends sung. He is enraptured and happy and joking along with you. It's a nice domestic morning. As Uth kind of, you explain what you were doing, where you were. There's a lull. The conversation is, some food is cleared away. Uth sits forward. We are less than 1 week now. For the time, the defining eve of your age. I feel much has been kept in the dark. And unfortunately, I do not have the light to shine upon it. I have placed all my trust and faith within you. What's the plan?
I think we know they're going for the fourth seal. We know where that goes down. Hondo, my dear precious friend, I think still wants to summon a kraken there, just to try and put up a little bit of a good show as they try and complete that ritual. And then we know the location of where the gate's going to open, where they're coming out. So we've got some armies amassing there. The entirety of Haverfeld, some of the elves, Arendelle. I think our plan was to even try and talk to the floating city near there, if you know of that. See if we can bring everyone together to have one last stand.
I'm aware of the noble enclave in the city of Mythandor. I trust that they will keep to themselves as they have long done. But I hope you will find success. The movements of the war parties of the world, I have noticed. Yet the threads, the veil of divinity, the ties that bind a place such as this and myself, they grow thin. As the full moon approaches and what event is yet to unfold, the universe, the forces that define us all, it has already begun to unravel. Do you have any hope of stopping the fourth seal?
We don't want to stop the fourth seal. We want to stop the whole thing.
That would be ideal.
It's very simple. We have a plan. We're going to go to hell and kill the devil.
He is divine being is a tough thing to contend with.
That first part, what if that wasn't in the equation?
Your meaning escapes me.
Valentine, you have to be careful.
We have a plan. We're going to go to hell and take care of the devil.
He looks back and forth between that exchange.
I'm not that hard to read.
No, but you're not lying. There's an obvious kind of tensing around the eyes as he looks across the table at all of you. You can see Damascus kind of grow a little uneasy and just kind of adjust his positioning. Uth kind of tries to give a hard stare to each of you as he speaks. I say again, I have put my full faith and trust in you. I understand You may not speak on elements of your plan. I have faith in you. Just know, even the best laid plans made false can have dire consequences. I apologize for my state. The approach of this event has worn me down.
It's been a long time for you.
In truth, I am tied to this sanctuary and this shield as much as anyone is tied to their thin connection to life. Mine extended solely by this existence. I wish I could be there with you. I wish I could have aided along your path more. But I will provide you with all I can in your coming days. You always have this place for safe harbor, safe passage. Takes like a deep breath. Just like you can see the wear on him. He was old to begin with. He's now exuding it. Pardon me. He turns to Damascus and just says, "Would you be so kind as to fetch the container from my room?" Damascus immediately just, of course, gets up, heads out of the room. Uth kind of returns to you all. I've said my prayers to Bahamut, and he has listened. In the coming days, what you attempt will break and bend the laws of life. But it must be done. For you to succeed, it must be done. The gods will hand you a blessing when the time is right. Do what needs to be done. He just keeps having these heavy breaths. A minute later, Damascus returns. And he has this chest that is it's an old weathered chest, but you can see it's been well maintained despite its age. And he sets it down with kind of a heavy thunk. And Uth steps up and says, "Thank you," opens it up, and you can see there are 6 superior healing potions. And then there are 4 kind of bundles that are sitting in this kind of blue silk cloth. 5 bundles in silk blue cloth. He lifts out 2 and begins kind of unwrapping, and another 2. You can see there's a vial of what looks like vibrant honey in this kind of teardrop shaped vial, stoppered. There's a golden nugget, kind of the size of a small stone, He sits in the middle of the table. There's a small pouch that is also of blue silk that is cinched. He sits there and finally unwraps this kind of it's a plum, like the fruit, but it's the purple and gold of its skin is like iridescent, and he sets that down as well. And he says, the ambrosia tree is a divine tree from the upper plains. Very difficult to maintain and very difficult to care for, and under the tutelage of one archdruid between us, we were able to tend for one here for much of my life. In its time, in my time with it, I was able to harvest these 4 harvests that should hopefully prove useful to you. And as a final gift of our time, he reaches underneath his cloak and pulls out on a chain this platinum scale, like a dragon scale, that is like iridescent and kind of rainbow hue, like an oil slick. And he sets that down and says, use this when the time is right. Bring the fight to the gates of hell or to the devil himself, with the platinum dragon at your side, with my blessing. You will see victory.
Thank you for all of this.
I only wish there were more.
I mean, eyes like wide at everything he's just said so far. This is already pretty incredible. I don't even know what half this shit does, but thank you for everything. You've sheltered us and ours. And even for that alone, we can't thank you enough.
The sanctuary will always be open to those in need. And of course, to the heroes and champions of our realm. One final tiding. This darkness has taken its toll. A new steward will be taking up the charge here. He looks to Damascus, who looks to you and looks back to Uth, very confused. As I say, the threads have grown thin, and my time has ended. I held as long as I could the evils at bay, but something dark, too dark to handle, has come from this world. The vow have taken the city of the dead. The gate will reborn, will rise. The armies of hell will march on this earth. But you will stand and fight, and you will win together. I'm glad I could see you one last time. It turns to Damascus, who is just as surprised as any of you, and says, "The sanctuary is yours now. To maintain, to harbor. Keep a watchful eye. Find your faith. I say that to the rest of you as well. Find your faith. And it will guide you." He sits back and finally has just kind of a feeling of contentedness. It's been a long time coming.
You did great. You did everything you were supposed to.
I did what I could.
We'll take care of the rest.
Please do. Even if the gate must open, you must go to hell itself. Just do what you can. I think I'll go for a walk. He begins to slowly stand up from the table.
I'll just stand in respect. I'll kick Hondo to stand in respect.
I'll do the same.
He looks back to you all and says,
And he coughs, and it's a harsh.
It hurts. It hurts. Hurts to listen to, hurts to see. So, again, I'm thankful for my part played bringing any of this together, for seeing it through. Be the heroes this world needs. Farewell. He just turns out of the room and walks down the hall.
Just look on the table. Did he leave his relic?
With him.
He took it with him? Hondo, do you think he wants you to fight him one last time? You're right, probably not. Well, Damascus,
Yeah.
keeper of the Platinum Sanctuary.
Well, I guess the holiday's over.
You do still have to watch Teddy. He's part of like the stewardship.
I've grown fond of him.
Great. Ready to help save the world?
I suppose. Just doesn't feel right.
It does not.
None of this feels right. Doesn't mean it's not the right path, though.
So, I know you can't tell me everything. But is there anything I can do to help? Is there any
Actually,
information you need?
We learned some crazy shit like
We
2
learned
days
some
ago.
crazy shit that you would be very interested in.
In any of your reading of Mordenkainen's library, have you found anything? Oh, sorry.
Did you
About
catch
the,
Uth's cough?
Yeah, immediately apparently. Anything about the shard that lives in the middle of the cow?
Yeah, actually, it comes up fairly often in Mordenkainen's journals over the years. It's hard to decipher because he didn't even understand it at the time. But referencing it with pieces of ancient lore and history of the reckoning of Tharizdun and Crossing, and of our research and knowledge of the gate gems. It's all tied together. It's all one. They're pieces of the whole that split and shattered when Tharizdun split and shattered everything. I don't understand where it came from or what its purpose is, but Mordenkainen has theorized its power level, if you want to think of it like that. If you use one of those gate gems, it has an innate planar connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can be focuses for other things. They can be, he theorized pieces of it could be attuned to magic items to imbue them with great power. He believed pieces of it could be used to empower spells. But those are just the pieces. The big one, I don't know what it could do, but Mordenkainen was pretty confident it would world-ending, world-shaking, world-shattering, had a very definite end game kind of feel to it anytime he theorized. I hope you're not planning on doing anything with it.
We weren't, and I still don't entirely know what the fuck any of it means, but apparently it's been poisoning Vesaria.
I wonder if that's why. Well, no, it couldn't have just been changing oof. We're close.
I don't really want to check it out. We have so much to do.
I think we just need to think about it.
I've got to summon a Kraken and fight the City of the Dead again.
Yeah, you've got bigger things on your plate.
Any way you could get in contact with your old city and see if they would be willing to meet? I mean, we sent Prince Colton there. If you had any success with trying to rally their forces.
I mean, I can reach out, but I've been dead for a long time. Any contacts I have may not be there.
You can always check in with
I can
other
try.
allies first, but
Of course I'll try.
And then if you want to research maybe just any way that people would contact the floating city of Mythandor.
Oh, sure. We don't have a whole lot of records of the Veil. They kept themselves pretty tight. But I'll see what I can come up with. I'll get in contact with you.
And Wildcards, I think we just got to start getting in contact with our people and figuring out some kind of what's happening right now before we set up for the full moon in 6 days. And save the world.
yeah. Just that. No big deal.
Wow. There's a lot on all of our plates. That was a lot that just happened.
There's a lot that's been happening for the last 5 months.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Well, I'll do my research. I'll think on this whole shard rock thing.
I know, I can't help but feel it's important somehow. If you can do anything for us, I don't want to use it. I don't want to. Maybe there's a mystery hiding there that'll untangle something else. There's still so much we don't understand.
Well, I'll see what I can scrounge up. Where are you
All right.
going next? What are you going to do?
That's a good question. Give me a sec. Do we know if, because this place is protected, if sending works in here?
As far as you know, yeah.
Okay.
It's divination that doesn't work. Sending is technically evocation.
Cool. I'll pull out my sending stone. And just...
To your boyfriend? Who you gonna call your boyfriend?
The person who I gave this to be our point of contact within
Sure.
the... yeah, totally.
Sure.
And, what is it, 25 words?
Yeah.
I'm probably not even going to end up using them all. We're back here, finally. Where is everyone? Is there anything we need to know urgently? We can come to you. I have a shit ton left, but I can't think of anything else to add to this point.
Do you say love? Have you guys said love yet?
I step on your foot really hard.
Ow, fuck.
You very quickly hear... I'm just trying to find the information of where Alexander's at.
Like, how are you? What's new?
In theory, we could see everybody in like 5 minutes if we wanted to.
You up? You good?
He's an elf, he like barely sleeps.
He says, "It's good to hear your voice. It's been too long. We're at the warfront, the base of the Noldor Enclave.
Great.
We're still awaiting Queen Baldora. But many of the forces are here." He runs out of time.
Exactly where we thought they might be.
Well, it's a long way to travel. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
That's not a surprise. You guys didn't know they were coming later.
Okay, it's not
They
a
were
surprise.
taking-
We knew that.
They were going to take like this kind of like wraparound route to try and cut off the there's a mountain pass. They wanted to make sure that wasn't going to be like a sudden sucking rush. So we're taking a long route. At least Baldora was, and you assume Lavender's with her.
Well, we could teleport. Try and get close to there.
Yeah, we haven't been there before. But
We
there
visited that
specifically.
like city on the outskirts once when we were like just traveling along. I feel like we had visited the city like to the west of the City of the Dead.
I mean, to be fair, Elena's seen it.
Alana seen the Noldor Enclave?
She
She's
had a
seen where
vision.
shit goes down.
Jeez. Let's see how teleport works.
I think you still need to have an idea of where it is.
Which we do.
Yeah.
Because we had to point it out on a map for organizing the
do.
army.
Have an idea.
Oh yeah, you have to teleport our souls there though. Fuck. Not like 20 feet into a hill.
At
False
this,
destination.
as you're kind of mulling this over, as you're reading your spell, you will say, with the conversation with Uth, which would have taken a decent amount of time, the items that he's presented to you still lay on the table before you, talking with Damascus and everything. We'll pull this into like kind of like early mid-afternoon. By the time all this has kind of come about, in a bit of a slow roll to the morning, though I know you guys have a lot to do.
We definitely slept in.
Sleeping in, yeah, like though you have a lot to do, there's still like you guys can get around really fast, so it's okay to kind of take your time every now and again. At this point, mid-conversation, Hondo, you hear a voice in your mind Hey, big man. Back in town. Hope you got what you went for. Hope you got what you went for. Regardless, left a little something from him at your place.
Gambino?
You hear Gambino's
Can reply.
voice.
You have 25 words.
You say Gambino back? Question mark.
Gambino?
You can keep replying. If you want to
Keep
say.
going.
He can't get
24
back to you
words.
though. So just don't ask questions. But
Oh, wait. Oh my god. Okay, so I can't. Oh my, I don't know what to say.
You don't have to.
you don't have to say
You
anything.
can
I
say
left
something
something
back.
at your place.
So, like, I assume that's Arendelle. I'll just say, Arendelle, you're the man.
He could have just shit in your bed. You don't know what he did.
You guys hear as you're having this kind of multiple conversations and planning. Hondo
What if
suddenly
we-
just says, "Gambino,
Oh, you gotta be fucking
Arendelle, you're the man," in that kind of slow.
What?
I just heard a voice.
What did it say?
It sounded like Gambino, and he's left something at my place. Now, that could be Arendelle, that could be my ship.
Tridenstan?
I don't have a place in Tridenstan, so probably not.
Not a shock. Okay, so we could go to Arendelle?
Either Arendelle or because we have a ship too. It might be the ship.
What ship? Do you
Well,
mean
we have
the
like a
Black
bunch
Parade?
of ships. We have the Black Parade, of course, and then
The floppy salmon's at the bottom of the sea, my friend.
that's true.
We could
Black Parade.
use... I could teleportation circle to Arendelle, and we could see what that is.
That would
And
take
we
you to
could-
the Wizard's Tower.
Yes,
It gets us
which is
closer
in
now.
Arendelle.
Mhm.
You guys want to do that?
I'd say let's do it.
any extra
What if-
information we can
Can
find
I
ahead
be
of
honest
time.
though? What if it's a trap? What if he's luring us somewhere? Gambino plays the side that wins.
We are waiting.
Well, I mean, remember, we also need a Kraken. Maybe he's helping us get the Kraken.
I think I know what it is, and I don't think that's what it is.
Okay. You guys want to go?
Let's do it. Maybe he's giving us another one of his ships.
I highly doubt it.
That would be fucking really cool.
We already
I got
took
excited.
the one.
Okay. Damascus. Sorry to dine and dash. Am I
Okay.
cleaning this up? That's also part of the.
Hey, don't get used to these kind of meals anymore, man. He was the cook.
You know, really. This truly was the last meal. We'll be back. We'll keep you in the loop. We got to check something out.
Yeah,
I
please do.
take a shit ton of pastries and shove them in my bag.
Shoving
Um,
stuff.
And the coffee to go.
I'll do
my
my
Alabama.
best to research anything I can.
Okay.
This is not how I thought this day was going to go.
Get ready. The rest are
Yes.
going to be worse than this.
You scoop up the goods, the pastries, and teleportation circle to Arendelle.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And
Running
if you
in,
miss-
you know, barely thought out plan. Someone dangles a carrot. Let's do it.
You arrive.
Oh, the entire army's over in that destination? But an evil pirate who betrayed you is like your antithesis said, go here. Let's do it.
You arrive in the Wizard's Tower in Arendelle. Thankfully, the transmutation trap that was here previous has been expunged, and you arrive safely in a very quiet tower. You exit out of the teleportation room. There's nobody in the intermediary hall that would one side would lead to the headmaster's office, and there's a stairway that would go up to the rooftop, and then there's this teleportation wing. You guys begin kind of traversing through. No wards or guards are in protection. Just
Can we
quiet.
check out the rooftop?
Yeah. Make your way up to the roof and exit through the upper hatch onto the main roof. First thing you see is a kind of light purple, pinky skinned tiefling. Pardon me. With kind of like white gossamer hair. You see Aurora at the top, just kind of looking over the city, and she's startled as the hatch opens. Oh my! What are you doing here? How can I help you?
Hey.
I haven't just wandered into the tower. What's up?
Kind of took the shortcut.
The telly.
No, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. I just wasn't expecting guests.
Everything okay in the city so far? Everything all right?
Okay is a weird way to put it, honestly. You look out over the city on the top of over across the battlements. The city is packed with people. You can see the constant kind of flow of smoke from small fires, exterior fires, and the gates are barred and the walls are fortified, and there's a constant stream of guards that you can see it at a distance on the walls and in the guard towers. The city is under lock and key, and the citizens of the exterior of the realm have been drawn within the bastion of Arendelle.
Looks a little intense.
Yeah. It's good. Many people have come. We're far as we can be from what's to come in the south. But there's a lot of questions. People are scared. Nobody knows exactly why they're here. Only that there's a war coming, but nobody can say by who. The name, the vow, doesn't mean anything to these farmers. It doesn't make sense. Even to us. It seems so odd. But it's here. Sorry, you must have come here for something.
No, this is just good to know. Yeah, we just have to check on something in the city back in our keep.
Well, it's technically not in the city. Is getting out going to be a problem?
Oh, not for you. I mean,
Yeah, no, we have ways.
you guys should be fine.
I ain't walking.
Yeah.
I'll look at Fern.
Keith is definitely walking. I don't know what your plan is for the giant goat,
I
but
can polymorph keys. You got spells
it's
for
just
days.
below that.
It's just a fourth. It's just a fourth.
Fourth,
You
sorry.
got spells.
Yeah, I'll look at Brawley. Can I make him a little more portable?
If you could, that'd be amazing.
I'll turn Keith into a little cat,
Okay.
and then I'll nod at Fern for Brawley to ride on. I don't know if you want to go in there. You guys can use the carpet. I don't know if you want to use me.
Sure.
But I've been waiting quite a while to do this. And then I'll just like jump backwards off the tower and bust out the wings.
Aurora gasps as you jump off the tower, and she's very confused, but then the
Come back
wings come out.
He
And
lives
she-
through the drama, you understand.
I will try and do some like cool stuff for the crowd, just like twirling down around the tower.
Make a performance check.
Let's do it.
You're a bard.
Come on, peerless skill. Performance. Fuck yeah. 25, I think it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, not necessarily in the grounds here at the tower or in the Whitethorn like hall area, but you can still be seen from the upper Arendelle kind of like wall that surrounds and the cityscape beyond. you flying around and like in this kind of like reflective armor, like there's some like shimmer and things, and then Fern taking off behind, like there is a little air of like cheering, and like people are just like, oh my god, like that's some crazy cool shit. Like it brings a little levity to an otherwise kind of dour city.
Is there anything you need from us before we go?
Oh, to Aurora?
Yeah.
Says, if you have any information, we try and keep in contact, but obviously the Arthur and Eli want to reserve their energies for if they need, to do anything for the warfront.
We haven't been there yet, so unfortunately we can't update you on too much.
It's okay. I wish I had more to contribute.
No, what we're doing here is really important. The city needs any leaders it can get.
I know. Thank you. Just feel a little lost.
We all do. It turns out in the end, usually.
Good luck.
I'll summon Mira.
I'm going over
she's-
crowds, shouting like Arendelle. Like,
Oh,
just
Jesus
trying to get
Christ.
them fucking into it.
I'm gonna very specifically not go the same way as Valentine. She's also a little faster, Mira is, I think, than the carpet at the very least.
Yeah.
So
She's,
I'll
like,
take
twice
some
as fast.
time to do a wide breadth and just fly over Lower Arendelle just so I can get a look at it. Not necessarily like trying to be seen, just this might be the last time that she gets to see the city, so.
It's it does cost you a little bit of time, even though the carpet is slow. It's a long trajectory to go that far, and then loop back around to go to your keep. Lower Arendelle looks jam-packed with refugees and people trying to figure out what they're supposed to do next and waiting. And you can see a heightened guard presence, which is simultaneously kind of like, it's good to see that there is finally some like white guard presence in the shitty parts of the town. But you can also see that it could be easily exploited. But for the most part, people are like kind of coming together to try and take care of one another and be hopeful. But there's a through line of uncertainty before you reconnect with the rest of your crew. And you all make your way across the city, flying over this city where you really kind of came together long ago, to the exterior of your granted given keep at the edge of the city, at the exterior of the city, I should say. It's quiet. You see no smoke rising from chimneys, from open windows are shuttered. It looks abandoned. It looks cold.
They're at least staying safe in the city.
I'm gonna start walking towards the door. Let's take out Aetherius, just have it ready.
Make a perception check.
What is that? 24.
You're very confident that there is nobody in the vicinity. There's nobody watching. There's nobody in the distance. With your half-elven eyes, you can see, quite a distance, especially where your keep is on the exterior. You're on like a hilltop, kind of overlooking a good plains. You got a good distance, and you don't see anybody, looking sketchy. You don't see any looming dreadnoughts in the sky. And it's quiet on the inside, which is maybe a little unsettling, but you guys haven't been home in a while.
What did he say, Honda? Did you leave it in your room or did you leave it at your house? Your home?
Just at my house.
Well, Lead on, my friend.
Okay. You guys enter into the fort, your home, and are met with a sudden sense and scent of death. Crossing the threshold into the main, your main hall. On the left is your kind of living space, your large fireplace. To the right, your kitchen. It's definitely coming from the left side. You can feel this almost like a buzz, ringing in your ears. But the scent of death is certainly abound. Hondo, you kind of peer through. Make a perception or investigation check, your choice.
Okay, I will make a perception check.
Okay.
Just have to see which one is higher. Okay, 20.
Could I make an investigation as well?
Sure.
I guess
It's
I
a
could just
19,
try
or
to
is it 19?
Yep.
Damn. 19 plus 1,000.
Oh, right, 19 plus 15.
34, sure.
A cool 34.
It's 18 plus 14.
Okay, 32. What were you investigating? What were you looking for specifically? Mary?
Sorry, I didn't realize I muted. Just going into like detective mode, like
What
I'm in
happened?
Arkham Asylum games.
Yeah.
And everything.
With Mary and Hondo at the lead, Valentine just behind, Alana and Gord and Keith and Fern and all the mounts bringing up the rear.
Keith is a cat.
Oh yeah, Keith's cat. Yeah. Tucked under Brawley's shoulder, hammer in the other hand. The two rogues of the crew, you guys kind of brace either side of the door and look into the entryway into your kind of living area and dining hall. The far side of the room, on the long table, you can see your table itself is encased in this frost that has covered the top of the table, down the legs, and encased the floor in a almost in this icy white frost. In the center of it, you see this black box that's sat on the table. It's maybe a foot by a foot square of a dark iron. You can see at a distance, both you rolled 30-somethings, so at a distance, you can see a sigil is kind of imprinted into the front of it that you recognize as infernal. Unfortunately, you also see very quickly your housekeepers and your chef and the three figures installed in here to take care of the home and aid you. Certainly dead, partially frozen in various spaces around this side of the house.
They didn't deserve that.
Up for his bullshit for too fucking long. I'm gonna take off his fucking head.
Which one? Walk towards the box.
As soon as you enter into the room, you can feel this icy cold. It's reminiscent of the winds of Cania.
Oh no, don't you have a spell that you can read stuff?
I can. I do.
As you guys get closer, I will point out it's less of a infernal word as
Like a symbol.
A symbol more of Mephistopheles and the layer of Cania. His kind of like similar to the 3 diamonds of the hells, his of the crown, or not a crown, but a veil of hellfire and kind of like spikes of ice, almost reminiscent of his tower. As you get closer, you feel that cold kind of biting at you, but it doesn't feel particularly painful, just uncomfortable. It's suddenly cold. And you can feel that kind of faint buzzing and ringing in your ears. As you get closer, it gets a little louder until you get right to in front of it. Stepping across your fallen housekeeper. We're kind of loosely nearby. What do you do?
Should we
no, can you-
reanimate them?
Yeah, let's fucking reanimate our housekeepers. Can you check this box for traps? Don't
can.
cry. Yeah,
Make an investigation check.
it's beneath you. You
Okay.
didn't know them that well.
11.
Okay.
And investigation is 14, I think. So 25.
Make an Arcana check as well.
Okay. 12. And Arcana is 5.
17. Okay. The infernal iron of this box normally would exude kind of the hellfire of the flames and torment of the hells. But knowing likely where this is from and who it's from, the cold is explained away there. The box is not trapped for you. The sense you very quickly gather is in your partnership, this box will not harm you, but its presence is deadly.
Like our housekeepers just found out.
It seems like it has an aura of unsettling and unsettling cold, and Mephistopheles certainly does not like to keep witnesses.
I'll open this box.
You just place a hand to go. There's no like latch or anything, but you place a hand near it and just kind of pops up. You see this billow of kind of smoke out. The lid opens, and inside you can see a small circular device, maybe about like 2 inches in radius and maybe 2 inches thick, covered in minute runic carvings and sigils across the surface. But it's so thin, it almost feels smooth, but you can see the etchings. There is wrapped in this deep, like blue-purple cloth, like a silken cloth. There's something wrapped in that. And you can see stacked rather large, like small dinner plates, 3 platinum coins of infernal make.
The fuck is this shit? Any note? Anything about this stuff?
Just the 5 items, but 3 items.
Are they soul coins like we've seen before?
You've seen soul coins. These ones are just slightly bigger and more platinum than they are of infernal make. So they're like, they appear richer in some capacity. Greater.
Did you say there's something bundled in this blue silk?
There's a blue silk bundle.
Let's open that bad boy up. Let's see what's going on there.
You pick it up and it's surprisingly light in this bundle. And you kind of turn it over in your hand, and there is a skeletal hand cut off just beyond the wrist, and a relatively smooth cut through the bone, but otherwise a skeletal hand.
Okay.
That's our key.
That's our key.
Tuning fork.
Everyone kind
Can
of
help
gets
us
in
get to where we
close.
need to go?
That's our skeleton key.
We need to be able to get in. We've never been there before, so we needed something from the area. Gambino said he'd get it for us.
Plus some soul coins, and then what's this last thing? This like weird
They pick up the.
CD-ROM.
It's like this little, kind of like a thick CD.
Can I cast 10 minutes identify on it?
I think you need to touch it to do that.
Touch this thing? Fine. Let's do it.
Sorry, you're casting Identify?
Yeah, I just want to see how long it takes. Yeah, so I can do it.
Okay. Do you have to touch it?
It'll be 11 minutes,
Why
I
do you
think.
keep saying this? Spells. Spells, 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 spells. It's touch.
Okay.
Choose one object you must touch through the casting its spell. It's a magic item.
You kind of begin preparing to cast the spell. You get the incantation underway as you reach out to grab, and as soon as you grab the disc, this kind of thick disc, the center of the disc splits open in 8 segments, and it rotates away, kind of like a camera shutter opening. And you see this pale blue light emit, and this misty kind of light. And rapidly, you watch this kind of like bubble of energy pass through and surround you. And suddenly, you can faintly see, especially with your arcane eyes, and Gord and Hondo as well, this kind of 10-foot cube around where you're holding this is suddenly muffled to the exterior sound. You don't hear anything beyond. Everything is very silent except for what's inside this bubble. In the center, in your hands, this kind of illusion begins to kind of fill with like mist, like a hologram, and you begin to see the crimson-skinned face, the goatee, the horns of Mephistopheles, who begins to dictate immediately, telling the message of Wildcards. Use the hand as a focused plane shift to Kenya. It will bring you to the ferryman. The ferryman will take you down the river Styx to the Forgotten Lake. The Forgotten Lake is the lone portal from any of the hells to Nessus. It is a frigid lake, slush and water of the Styx. It descends 1,001 fathoms through the layers of hell before dropping unceremoniously into the Forgotten Lake of Nessus. On the Canyon side, it is a spawning ground for ice devils. On the Nessian side, warhounds and lesser Nessian guard patrol the lake for intruders. If you even made it past the spawning ice devils, you'd be stripped of your memories, bereft of who you were in life before being spat before the warhounds, who will tear your witness forms asunder. Regardless, the ferryman will bring you to the lake, and then under its frigid surface, but instead of 1,001 league dive, it will divert into an unknown passage that will instead deposit you in the Reaper's Canyon of Nessus, mere miles from Malsheen and the Serpent's Coil. Pay the ferryman here, be on your way west. Any spells and protections you have on you before will be purged in the transition, so wisest to save your preparations until now. Between this pass of the Reaper's Canyon and the Coil lay 3 miles of cracked terrain and labyrinthine chasms to traverse. Travel through the canyon, across the Bridge of the Damned, beyond the spawning grounds before descending into the Coil itself. All manner of fiend await you. Only engage when absolutely necessary. And should you engage, leave no survivors lest your arrival be announced. Good luck. It dissipates.
Oh,
And
so
Val,
that's it?
in your hand, it just crumbles to dust.
Great. That doesn't sound too bad. Put the coins in the bag of holding. Put the hand in the bag of holding. Fuck.
What do we do with this box?
Box still there?
Yeah.
Is it still cold, emitting all this like pain and everything?
You guys don't feel like any pain, but it is definitely like emitting this like weird cold.
Can I pick up the box?
Yeah, it's cold to your touch, but not painful.
Would it fit in the bag of holding?
It'd be tight, but yeah.
I don't know. Let's bury these bodies first.
Yeah. Get
No
on
one
in
else is
and
coming
help
in our
me.
keep. We can just leave this thing.
I don't know. I
Start
wanna find
sadly
use for every
burying
piece
some
of shit that he's
bodies.
given us.
Probably all you missed was just a detailed rundown of going through the hells to get to Asmodeus. And it sounded pretty straightforward, pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
By that he means it's not a fucking thing. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all right then.
Just bury these bodies then and look out over Arendelle. Well, I think after this we try and go to that other place. You know,
The Warfront.
yeah, Mythandor.
All right. With
We just wherever we end up burying the bodies. This is like Mary's worst nightmare. This whole people who you come close with just getting murdered for no reason. She's pissed. So she's really gonna make sure whatever we can do here is like the best of her ability. I'm so fucking sorry. Rejoins everyone else.
preparing to leave for the Warfront, an ominous and poorly delivered instructions from your pseudo patron in hand and in mind that just adds to the cold, dark tension of what comes next. We'll pick up there next time.
It's gonna get icy.
It did get icy.
Or hot.
You can get both, actually.
It's gonna be both.
Icy hot.